the Tunguska disaster changed our view of the world and our place in the cosmos, because until then we thought that we were basically very protected.
The simulation begins. A 200-foot wide object enters the atmosphere at 40,000 miles per hour. This time it's not over an empty forest. Using their most advanced risk models, NASA is simulating a modern Tunguska event, and the results are deeply troubling to scientists. The computer predicted how the airburst would trigger regional EMP-like effects, setting off a domino effect that could paralyze our modern world. This isn't just about a bigger explosion, it's about a fatal flaw in the way our civilization is connected. Modeling the unthinkable. On the morning of June 30th, 1908, a fireball tore across the sky over Siberia. Moments later, it exploded with a force estimated at 15 megatons, 1,000 times more powerful than the bomb that leveled Hiroshima. The blast flattened nearly 800 square miles of remote forest, knocking down some 80 million trees as if they were matchsticks. The shockwave was detected around the world. For weeks afterward, the night sky glowed with an eerie light. Yet for all this incredible power, no impact crater was ever found. The Tunguska event was an airburst, a cosmic object that disintegrated miles above the surface. It was a terrifying reminder that the greatest threats from space don't always leave a scar on the Earth. For over a century, scientists could only theorize about the effects of such an event, but today the game has changed. At NASA's Ames Research Center sits one of the most powerful computing systems on the planet, the Pleiades supercomputer. This is not an ordinary machine. It's a high-performance computing cluster capable of performing quadrillions of calculations per second. You see, its job is to model the universe's most complex problems, from the turbulence of a rocket launch to the physics of a star's core. Recently, a team of researchers from NASA's Planetary Defense Coordination Office used this incredible tool to ask a chilling question. What would happen if the Tunguska event happened today? They developed the most detailed simulation of a large-scale airburst ever created. They used real-world data and advanced physics models, including the probabilistic asteroid impact risk pair model, to build a digital twin of a Tunguska-class event. The parameters were simple. An object 200 feet wide, made of stone, hits the atmosphere at 40,000 miles per hour and explodes 6 miles above a densely populated region in Central Europe. The scientists expected to see a simulation of horrific city-scale destruction, and they did. But then the simulation kept going, modeling the secondary effects on our fragile, interconnected world. What they saw unveiled a critical vulnerability, a flaw not in our defenses, but in the very fabric of our modern civilization. The simulation showed with sobering clarity that the initial explosion was only the beginning of the catastrophe. What many overlooked in the years since Tunguska is that the danger isn't just from the shockwave. When an object this large and fast vaporizes, it releases an incredible amount of energy into the upper atmosphere. The Pleiades simulation, processing terabytes of data, began to model the complex interaction between the superheated plasma of the explosion and the Earth's magnetic field. The computer began to map out a chain reaction, a cascade of failures that would spread far beyond the blast zone, moving at the speed of light. The scientists weren't just watching a simulation of a physical impact, they were watching the blueprint for a potential societal collapse. The blast was only the first domino to fall, a continent in the dark. As the simulated asteroid vaporized, it released a thermal pulse that would have ignited fires across hundreds of square miles. This was followed by a devastating shockwave that would have shattered buildings and infrastructure across a major metropolitan area. But the effect that truly sobered the NASA researchers was what happened in the silent, invisible realm of the upper atmosphere. The intense energy from the 15-megaton airburst superheated and ionized the air, creating a massive expanding bubble of charged particles in the ionosphere. The thing nobody tells you is that this ionized cloud can create a powerful localized electromagnetic pulse, or EMP. It's a phenomenon observed on a much smaller scale during the 2013 Chelyabinsk meteor event, which disrupted radio communications. The Pleiades simulation showed an EMP-like effect on a scale never before modeled. It wouldn't blanket the entire planet, but it would be strong enough to severely disrupt technology across a region the size of Germany or France. The first systems to feel the effects in the simulation were the power grids. The pulse induced massive voltage spikes in long-distance transmission lines, causing transformers to overload and explode. Within minutes, a cascading power failure plunged a huge portion of the continent into darkness. But the power grid was just the first domino. You see, our modern world runs on a fragile web of interconnected systems. The EMP and the subsequent blackout triggered a cascade of failures. Satellites in the direct line of sight of the airburst were hit with the ionized plasma. While most weren't permanently destroyed, their sensitive electronics were temporarily knocked offline. GPS signals in the region became unreliable or vanished completely. Air traffic control systems, dependent on both power and satellite data, went dark, leading to chaos in the skies. The internet hubs that route data across the continent began to fail. In the simulation, stock exchanges couldn't open, bank transactions stopped, and the digital flow of money that powers our economy froze. To put it mildly, the simulation showed a regional technological collapse. What many have overlooked is the vulnerability of our just-in-time supply chains. With communication systems down and transportation grids in chaos, the flow of food, medicine, and fuel stopped. Ports couldn't unload ships and trucks couldn't be dispatched. The AI modeled how a modern society accustomed to fully stocked shelves would react when the trucks stopped rolling. The simulation showed widespread panic and civil unrest breaking out in a matter of days. The scientists weren't watching science fiction, they were watching a plausible outcome based on the known fragility of our most critical systems. The simulation proved that a 200-foot rock didn't need to leave a crater to send a continent back to the 19th century. But the simulation of the human response was even more disturbing: a crisis of information. The simulation's most unsettling phase began after the technological collapse. It shifted from physics to human psychology and geopolitics. Using models informed by crisis game theory, similar to those used by defense analysts at the RAND Corporation, the supercomputer began to simulate how world leaders would react. In the chaos of a continental blackout with unreliable satellite data and severed communication lines, the leaders were left blind. They knew a massive explosion had occurred, but they had no way of knowing its source for certain. Was it a natural event or was it a new kind of weapon? The thing is, in a crisis of information, the vacuum is quickly filled by fear and suspicion. In the simulation, military command and control systems, designed to be resilient, defaulted to their highest alert levels. With no clear picture of the threat, generals had to assume a worst-case scenario, that they were under attack. The AI didn't predict a 97% chance of immediate nuclear war. The reality it simulated was more complex and, in some ways, more terrifying. It predicted a rapid descent into a global fog of war. Nations bordering the affected region, fearing an invasion or a follow-up strike, put their militaries on the move. Accusations and threats transmitted over the few remaining military communication channels flew back and forth. The simulation showed a high probability of miscalculation. A conventional border skirmish, a downed reconnaissance plane, or a cyber attack on a rival's remaining infrastructure could easily be misinterpreted as the first shot in a wider war. The AI showed world leaders making high-stakes decisions with dangerously incomplete information while their own populations were descending into panic. You see, the protocols that govern our world order are built on a foundation of communication and verification. The simulation showed what happens when you kick that foundation out. Trust evaporates. Every action is seen through a lens of suspicion. While the simulation didn't always end in a full-scale nuclear exchange, it consistently showed the world teetering on the brink, with regional conflicts and a new, terrifyingly unstable global standoff as the most likely outcomes. The true horror in the simulation wasn't the asteroid, it was the reflection of ourselves. It was the sober realization that the systems we've built to keep us safe could, in a moment of blindness, become the very engines of our destruction. The simulation's final output wasn't a prediction, but a warning. The sobering truth. So is this NASA simulation a prophecy of doom? Number. It's something far more useful. It's a fire drill for civilization. The scenario run on the Pleiades supercomputer is a what-if, a low-probability, high-consequence event designed to find our blind spots before reality finds them for us. The sobering result that concerned the scientists wasn't that the sky would fall, but the realization of just how unprepared our interconnected world is for a shock of this magnitude. It's a digital mirror that showed us our own reflection, and the image was deeply unsettling. Many people are crazy about the idea of a planet-killer asteroid, a 6-mile-wide monster like the one that ended the dinosaurs. But the thing nobody tells you is that a Tunguska-class event is a far more statistically likely and in some ways more insidious threat. An object of that size comes uncomfortably close to Earth every few years. The 2013 Chelyabinsk meteor was only 66 feet wide, yet the airburst it created over a populated city injured over 1,500 people and shattered windows across hundreds of square miles. Now imagine an object 3 times larger with exponentially more energy. The simulation highlighted a critical flaw in our thinking about planetary defense. For decades, our focus has been on preventing a direct impact. NASA's groundbreaking DART mission in 2022 was a monumental achievement. It proved, for the first time in human history, that we could change the course of a celestial body. We are no longer dinosaurs, waiting helplessly for extinction. But what the simulation made terrifyingly clear is that an object doesn't need to hit the ground to cause a catastrophe. DART is a brilliant solution if we find a threat decades in advance. A gentle nudge is all it takes. But what about an object we find only a few years or even months out? A large airburst over a vulnerable, technologically dense region is a threat of a different kind, one that a simple nudge can't fix. This is not news to NASA and its partners. In fact, these kinds of simulations are the driving force behind real-world policy and preparation. For years, NASA and FEMA have conducted tabletop exercises, bringing together experts from around the world to game out their response to a predicted asteroid threat. Imagine a room filled with engineers, emergency managers, and military strategists, a ticking clock on the wall counting down to a fictional impact. The results of those exercises, much like the Pleiades simulation, consistently show that the greatest challenges are not in the physics of the impact itself. Instead, the true chaos comes from the breakdown of human systems. Failures in communication, the rapid spread of misinformation leading to public panic, and the near impossibility of coordinating a global response when every nation has its own priorities. What many have overlooked is that the first casualty in a cosmic disaster would be trust. The simulation's findings are helping to shape the future of planetary defense, turning these hard digital lessons into concrete action. The upcoming NEO-Surveyor Space Telescope, planned to launch around 2028, is a direct answer to this threat. You see, it's an infrared telescope designed to hunt for these very asteroids from a vantage point in space, free from the limitations of Earth's atmosphere and daylight. It will become our planet's dedicated round-the-clock sentinel, a cosmic security camera designed to find these threats while we still have time to act. On the ground, engineers are already working on ways to harden our electrical grids and critical infrastructure against EMP effects, both natural and man-made. The sobering results of the simulation are not a cause for fear, but a call to action. They provide a roadmap for building a more resilient world, one that can withstand a shock not just from space, but from any major disruption. It's a quiet, ongoing effort to ensure that if a modern Tunguska ever happens, the story doesn't end in chaos and conflict, but in recovery and resilience. The Tunguska event was a cosmic question mark. Advanced simulations are finally giving us the answer. Are we building a world that's strong enough to handle the truth? Let us know your thoughts below. For more on real planetary defense, like and subscribe.